How you doing? Hello. Okay, so I promise you the drilling is not in my place, but I think pretty sure it's right next door. So if you hear drilling, know that we are working on asking them to stop drilling, but we might have to deal with it. Are you guys good with that? Can we handle the annoyance of a little drill here or there? Oh, so good. I love it. The drilling is pretty light on our end. Thank you, Donna White. It sounds like it's like in my head right now on me. Okay, we're gonna rock and roll. So if you guys are on social media, I wanna welcome you to Shanda On Demand. It's Tuesday right now. I believe that the Shanda On Demands apply any day of the week that you're watching. If you ever watch this on replay, put hashtag replay. If you ever watch this on a replay, I love to see how many people are watching on a replay. I would also love to do a check-in. It's a great way, by the way, to promote your business without dropping a link, okay? Because dropping a link, you look like a sleazy you-know-what, so don't do that. But this is a great way to promote your business by taking a moment and asking yourself, what is it that you do for a living? Now, hold on before you post. This is a big thing because it actually makes a huge difference. Ask yourself, what's the solution you provide for people? Unless it's something like, well, say I was doTERRA. Any doTERRA people, put doTERRA in the comment section, or Young Living, put Young Living. Any of you guys in network marketing, put your company below. Any guys in network marketing, put your company name below. If you're in network marketing, put your company in the comment section below. So let me show you what it would look like if I was in network marketing. If I was in network marketing, first of all, everybody in network marketing on Juice Plus, got it, Usana, Kurium. Okay, you guys in network marketing, you are building a sales team. You need to understand this. I'm going to save your ass right now. You're going to have the best year of your life. And instead of thinking you're building a business, think you're building a sales team, which means anybody who trains around building sales teams. We actually do that as well, but we don't do that unless you're inside our ecosystem. It's not something we train on the front platforms. It's something we train behind closed doors. Ash just got a phone call from a great friend of ours that's running an incredible company around helping with sales, right? Our friend Jen Gottlieb and Chris Winfield, before they sold their company, they had no sales team. We talked about this the other day. Ash went in, and in a couple of weeks, we built a sales team. In less than a month, they were profiting incredibly well. Now, they're great salespeople, right? That took Ash's coaching. They didn't fight him, come up with excuses, and they crushed it. And it was like the saving grace for their company. They rose up. Why am I sharing this with you? Because if you are network marketing, so just if you're tuning in, this is not about network marketing. This is about business growth. But if you're in network marketing, if you look at your organization as a sales team and think to yourself and look online for trainings that say, how do you build a successful sales team? You will rock it. Because here's what happens in network marketing. This also happens in new business owners. You focus on selling. So if you're in network marketing, you focus on recruiting, right? If you're in coaching, you focus on selling a product or service. If you're in any company at the beginning, you're focused on sales, right? So you're focusing on sales. The problem in network marketing is after you recruit a decent amount of people, you have to change your mindset. You need to go to a C-level mindset. Any of you guys hear me talk about C-level mindsets? Put C-level in the comment section. It's a different mindset. So C-level mindset. So first you start with recruiting, selling. We're going to talk about ascension plans. We're talking about money flow strategies today and tomorrow. And that's all recruiting. But then you move to C-level, which is on scaling. And when you move to C-level, you move to managerial levels. And managerial levels mean that you cannot afford to stay offended. Okay, because the minute you get emotional is the minute you start quitting, and you will justify it. I saw an area this morning that I was in a cycle of quitting, not my business, but in a different business that's not hardcore business. In a different business, I saw myself in a cycle of quitting because I had a judgment on someone, and I caught it this morning. I said to Ash, I was like, who am I biblical, my God people put God in the comment section. I literally spoke over my tongue this morning. And I was like, I stopped my tongue from rising up against anyone. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the minute you start to speak out on someone is the minute you let go of your C-level management or your C-level leadership. Do you get what I'm saying? Which means you can't scale from that point. I mean, I can be right about everything I think about somebody else being wrong. And I'm telling you, all that would say about me is that I'm capped. Do you get what I'm saying? And so you got to really watch this stuff. I'm always trying to train leadership. I'm always in a leadership game. And listen, y'all, I'm not standing here saying I got it all together. I don't. I love that I don't have it all together, because it means that I've got growth in front of me, which I love personally. Who loves growth? Put growth in the comment section. I love growth. And I love seeing the next version of my friendships. I love seeing the next circle of friends that I get to do life with. I love what's happening in hardcore business right now, and the people that are coming in to our company, and just the caliber of their work ethic, and how much they love you and care about you. I love seeing growth. It is very, very exciting to me. I don't like being in places that are in decay. People are going down. They're getting emotional. They're blaming. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So I'm going to shift to money flow strategy today, but I want to prime you with this, because it's like at the underlining of every challenge you're facing, every struggle you're facing, write this mantra down. Somebody has figured out a way to get through this. There's a way to solve this. There's absolutely a solution for this. And when you start thinking like that, you stop saying, what can I afford? And you start saying, how can I afford it? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Instead of saying, what can I afford? You start saying, how can I afford it? And you know, that applies to anything. How can I finish this book? How can I have this marriage really come together? How can I have more fun in my marriage? That's all leadership. The questions you ask matter. So you can see, if you sabotage, your tongue rises up against something. And when that happens, you gave up the sea level, which means you gave up the scale, which means you gave up the growth. You guys hear me? Okay, so who's ready for a little money flow? Who's ready for a little money flow? Tell me who's ready for a little money flow. Okay, so let's rock this out. Alicia Fishbin. We're gonna pop her up with me. Alicia, awesome, hi, how are you? Let me unmute you so that you're unmuted. So good, okay, so hi.
It's Alicia.
Let me just revolume you. Say it again.
It's Alicia.
Alicia, sorry, Alicia.
Yeah.
Do you know the story how I called my best friend the wrong name for like 5-6 years of our relationship?
No.
No excuse, but it's where my messiness comes in. So you guys, we asked, our team asked a couple people to pop up that are in our community. Obviously, I don't know Alicia really well. She's in our community. The great thing about that she's going to be gifted right now is she's going to be gifted a next level money flow. Okay, so part of the reason why I do Shanda on demand, so you guys understand leverage, repurposing, is for our Meant to Be Live clients. It's for Meant to Be Live. It's for my 1% clients, which are my private clients. Both of them study in the same mastermind. They have just different accesses to me. Does that make sense? And so I do Shanda on demand to keep myself consistent. So some of you guys struggle with doing content online because it feels like a lot. It's not a lot when it's for your clients or for your customers or for your people. So we chose to bring up some Meant to Be Live clients, not for any other reason. By the way, if I wanted to make an offer for Meant to Be Live after speaking with them, that would be a perfect place to make an offer. So I want to teach you guys this stuff. Okay, so I'm not making an offer for Meant to Be Live, but I want you to know that if I was doing a strategy that was directly to a sale, that would be perfect. But my strategy, I wish I would have thought about the Meant to Be Live offer, because that would have been super smart. And there's nothing wrong with making offers. How many of you guys would love to work with me? Just put, put me. If you wanted to work with me, put me in the comment section. If you're already working with me, you're working with me, right? But so imagine if I made an offer to do that. So stop getting in the mentality of like, oh, I don't want to make offers because I don't want to be pushy. It's a contribution to make them. Okay, so she's here because she's in our community, and I want to give more to our community. And I'm doing this anyway, so I might as well bless a Meant to Be Live client and bless our social platforms at the same time. Do you guys see the strategy? So you could leverage your stuff, and you can completely keep giving on a bigger scale. All right, girlfriend, I have some notes. You have a 4,100 person list right now, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you do tell everybody what you do.
So my business partner and I slash bestie, we prepare professionals and families for physiologic birth through science, sage wisdom, and stories. So we
Okay,
basically
so
childbirth education company, and we
okay,
train.
so you don't have to put in all that other stuff because it creates confusion,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So you guys, $6,100, $61,000 is if so I have a meeting with our paid advertisement team later today, right? And if I want your list, I have to be willing to put that on my credit card. Do you guys get that? This is why we teach list building. This is why it's really important. We teach it through other endorsers endorse you to their lists. And what happens is your list grows. So if somebody needs help on list building, put the word list in the comment section. Somebody on our team can reach out to you, send you a DM, tell you strategies that you can use to be able to grow your list. So if you need a list, put the word list so Jessica and our team can see that you need, Cassandra, all these people can see that you need help with list building. Put the word list, okay? And our team, Susanna, if you can copy Cynthia, Heather, Nicole, Margarita, if you could send them a direct inbox, direct Zoom message right now, or somebody else on our team, and hook them up with someone that could teach them about list building. Because you guys, I teach it, like we could probably talk it to you in about 20 minutes, but I teach it over workshops over multiple days. So they could talk you through a strategy. And that's not something I'm going to do on Shanda on demand right now. Okay. But you don't want to miss out on list building because I couldn't help Alicia right now without it. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, okay, girl, let's go find people. And you're like, okay, let's go beg people to put us in their groups. Let's go beg meetup groups. And those are all great strategies, but it's like, you don't control them, right? You're going out there and begging to get on somebody's stage versus you have your own stage. You have 4,100 people on your list, which is great. Okay. So let's restate what you do. You
Okay.
help.
We help parents and professionals prepare for birth.
Perfect. Super, super clear, right? So now somebody, how many of you guys know somebody pregnant or you are pregnant, right? If you know somebody, put the word know, K-N-O-W. If you are pregnant, put the word pregnant, right? If you're pregnant, put the word pregnant. If you know somebody, put the word know, K-N-O-W. So what I just did there is I did trigger words, right? I did trigger words for you guys who don't have a list because you're in a bad spot without a list. Okay, really bad spot. It just you should stop everything you're doing and learn a list build. Okay? If I was Alicia, I see those two trigger words, I could be delivering content. I'm going to give her a money flow strategy, an ascension plan. But that just tells you right there, the people who put no should be introducing you to people. The people who are pregnant, you could message them and you could talk to them. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there's probably just on this live alone, there's probably 10 clients for you without a doubt. Now, what do you charge to work with you?
So we have two packages. One is for our class for parents. It's $397 for 3 months access. And then we charge $2,000 for our doula training. It's also a 3-month training.
$397 a month?
Yeah, $397 for 3 months.
For 3 months.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then 2K is for your doula class.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So your doula class, would a pregnant mom wouldn't take that, would they?
Nope.
Okay. So so I love this, by the way. Right. So there's a couple pieces here. So this can be a great ascension plan, but you have to ask yourself, where's the base? So I want everybody to be writing notes down for yourself. Don't just listen to my strategy for her. The way I'm thinking right now can apply to any business. What's the base product? Okay, now go ahead.
Oh, Shanna, let me just correct you on one thing. On the left-hand column, it's $397 for 3 months. So parents get they pay $397, they get 3-month access to the course.
Is that a home study program?
Yeah, self-paced.
Okay, where do they go from there?
Well, that's a great question. Not really anywhere.
Okay.
They just take the class.
There's a couple things going on in my mind right now. So, do you know Gladys in our community?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you need to know Gladys and Michelle. Gladys and Michelle, first of all, are a great JV for you. They do relationship coaching. But when they started, they would not listen to me. They're okay with me sharing this. And they did how to find your husband and how to have a good marriage,
Mm.
right? You're doing mamas, doulas. You got what I'm saying? So the first money flow challenge that I have is this takes a lot of work to get both up. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Versus if she chose, let's say moms, then there's other courses or other offers that we can make every single month that would lead people up. Now, or like that product could have this as a bonus, that product could have this as a bonus. Listen, women who are pregnant, how to get on the same page with your husband about vaccines, whether you want to vax or you don't want to vax. I know this might not be the thing you do, but you're looking for hot topics that are, I call them on a runway. You're dealing with them now, right? Hot topics that you can talk about. There could be,
Excuse me.
is that,
Sorry to interrupt.
sorry to interrupt, he says.
There's games I can't play anymore.
Okay.
So I can't, and I want to play it now.
Okay,
but
let me
I'm
show you
gonna
something.
do this.
Let me show you something.
I'm gonna do
Come here,
this.
come here, let me show you something. See, she helps people like me have more of you.
Hey,
And guess what? We're in the middle of a training. Remember what we talked about?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go back there, and as soon as I'm done, I'll be with you, okay?
All right, just
Thank
do
you.
this.
No, no.
Come
Nope.
for
You don't have an email, baby. You don't have an email.
What?
You don't have an email. Dad's got you. You don't have an email. Sorry, guys. So, okay. So you guys get what I'm saying? So I'm for money flow strategy, right? It's like, I got two competing offers. There's two competing offers here. Sorry, you guys, for the drilling. If you can or can't hear it, just is what it is. We have two competing offers. So Gladys and Michelle doing single, like women trying to find their husbands in marriage. I said to them, it's going to take you years to cross the 7-figure mark. And it did. And they work harder than most people who are watching right now. They know their marketing, but they had to keep changing gears. Right now, think about this. Like at the bottom of everything that I sell is list building. Not because I want to teach another entrepreneur how to build a list. It's because entrepreneurs do not become successful, or most of them do not become successful if they don't own their own list. It's your audience. It's not social media we rent. I use it all the time. It's great, right? We've been making offers for our leadership program all last week and this week. By the way, we're closing that offer down, right? I love social media like a TV, but I cannot control who sees this video at all. There's no way I can control it. In my list, I can, right? How many of you guys got a text message from us or an email? Put text or email in the comment section. Just show everybody. Go in the comment section right now, put text or email in the comment section so that we can see, and you can see in the comments, how I can actually control the narrative and let you know I'm going live. Do you see what I'm saying? I can't do that to social media. Do you get what there's no way of doing that because I rent those platforms. I own the list. So you have everybody has a foundational offer that is at the bottom of your Ascension plan. Okay? It's at the bottom of your Ascension plan. So do you have a lead coach with us by any chance?
Yeah, Zena.
Okay, so I'm gonna go send a message to Zena because I want a deeper strategy for you than what I can give you here on Shanda on Demand. But you're looking at an Ascension plan right now where you've got 4,100 people on your list right now.
Yep.
I would like to see that go to 15,000. Okay, and so now you got to reverse engineer that. Then you've got a product here a product here, and then a cash product here. This is cash. So for me, this might be a VIP day. For you, this could be a VIP day. I've got some clients in my private program who are doctors, and they're doing mini VIP days, mini intensives with like 3 to 5 people. And so somebody might pay $5,000 or $4,000, but let's say let me just pretend somebody pays $2,000 and you have 4 people in that. You've made $8,000 for that mini session of all of them together. Does that make sense? So that's kind of what this is. This is a cash injection, but it also is a skill builder.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep,
so
totally.
I like the idea of you doing something that's $3,000 to $5,000, and just for a skill builder, have 7 to 12 of these in the year.
Wow.
I don't care when you sell them. It doesn't make a difference to me. It could be to existing clients that need you, right? You saw us do it for our clients at the mastermind. I think we had 49 VIP days sold. Right? And so that kills our schedule. Why am I telling you guys that? VIP days and stuff are great cash injectors if you need money flow and your cash is low. If your cash is higher, it will mess with your calendar because it takes you off the calendar. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? You get it? So you should write yourself little notes on this. So your list, I need your list to move to 15,000 this year. That's not hard to do. We can reverse engineer that. Okay. Also go study the stacking, but if you do a bunch of 1-day summits, and depending on if we want to get you into any ad spend, but I don't want to go into any ad spend until we have your Ascension plan. So you have this product for $397. If you've got this product for $397, I would almost rather you sell this product for $700 and let them bring a friend. Does that make sense? And then ascend them up. Now see how she's got the doula program? It kind of screws us up because we can't ascend those people up. These people can ascend to here, or they could ascend to some sort of 10 months with you. Do you get what I'm saying? So 10 months for 10K. Do you see what and then you have to reverse engineer the emotions of whether they would or would not pay for that. And that comes down to then looking at what we're offering. You have to be in if any of you guys worried about price points, because if you are, where you go is you look at the package that you're selling. So like maybe somebody's afraid to sell a VIP or a VIP pod or a mini intensive for a day. Right? But if you added 60 days or 45 days of follow-up calls, I know from my client, they're like, oh, okay, I'd be willing to sell that for $3,000 or $5,000 because now I feel like they're safe. If I give them 45 days or 60 days after that VIP day where they could connect with me, whether through email support or whether through 2 or 3 calls afterwards. Do you guys get what I'm saying? You build the package to build your belief on somebody paying. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Because if you don't feel strong about the offer, it's because the value's not there. Are you guys following me? Yes? So I love the doula offer, but if we were doing the doula offer, because think about this, we go 700 for, and you're allowed to bring a friend. If we sell, let me see here. If we sell 100 of these, then that's 70,000. If they're allowed to bring a friend, let's just say you end up with 180 or 150 that end up coming in total. I'm just making this number up right now. Okay. You can plug in any dollar, I would not do less than 100. Okay. If you end up with 180 or 150 that bring a friend out of the 100 that they enroll, you want the next offer going somewhere. Because some of those bringer friends are going to take the next offer.
Sure.
Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So she went from 397 to 700, but they can bring a friend. So it's actually less money because you get what I'm saying? Like, but you're getting more volume. I don't know if you're following that or not, but you can re-listen to this. So can you guys see the money flow strategy on that? She's more generous here, but she has more people come. And that might be bring your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or another friend that's pregnant. And you'll start to see, a lot of times pregnant people hang out with pregnant people or people who are like, they just do because they're in the same season a lot of times. Okay. And so then you need to have that second offer because you're sending them up. And without thinking about your money flow and ascension, what happens is you're really busy selling things, and that will burn you out because it never really goes further. Does that make sense? So out of that 100, or let's call it 180 with the bring a friend, out of that 180, you're going to have at minimum 54 that want to send up. Do you guys see the money there? So if she sold something for 10,000, 54, that's $540,000. And this is what people miss that are broke, because they're in the hustle of the weeds. So then people will say to me, but Shanda, I want to do both programs. They're so important. I'm like, I know, but I would rather be turning around and selling these people who wants to become a doula and give back, and moving that program to like 6,500 or 7,500 and having a small amount, and then asking yourself, like, does that work? And as your platform expands, then what you can do is run ads to an ascension plan for that, run ads to an ascension plan for this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what are you hearing me say? What's got to shift?
Well, first we've got to grow our list bigger. I can see that. That's the foundation. And then once we have a bigger audience, we are going to raise our prices and have them bring a friend. So we're increasing our volume. We increase our volume, but we're going to elevate them and help them ascend. So they're not just buying the birth program, they're buying the next thing after that, and then the next thing after that.
Yeah, well, because after you figure out how to give birth, there's all these other things, and that's where the survey comes in. And they'll tell you that it'll be clear. Like one of the questions I would ask is, how is your relationship? Is it strong? Is it stressed? Right? Or is it okay? I could use some work. I need to pay attention to it. Right? Like, why would I want to know that, y'all? Can you guys go in the comment section? Why do you think I'd want to know that? Because the next product I offer is not about me making money. You got, like, a business makes money because you take care of the people. It's about, what do they tell me? If they tell you, Alicia, that if you get 60 or 70% like, my relationship is stressed on a multiple, well, then you need to add something to this program. Do 100% of them need that? No, but there's 60 or 70%. That's your buyer. People buy because of value. Value comes in multiple different things. It comes in return on investment, emotionally, happiness, financially, the bonding of the family, right? But I don't know about you, but it took me probably 4 years before I really had a rock solid relationship with Ash. And we hired people, right? It was Michael Strasner in our leadership program. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why Ash and I stayed married. Truthfully, I always say the leadership program was like key for us, because Michael was able to identify a trigger Ash had. And every time I got excited, Ash would be like, shh, like he'd be like, stop. Like it was suppressive. And I would get angry because, anybody relate with me? I would get angry because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I like to be excited. I like to be happy. Like, are you kidding me? And then where do you think I'd go in my head? What type of life is this going to be? Like, this dude will not let me express myself. I can't be happy. I can't be enthusiastic. I walk around the house going, woo! So does our son, my poor husband, right? Both of us. And so we walk around, like, we wake up, we're like, yeah, and Ash he's now like that. He literally said to me this morning, I think when I came out of my mother's womb, I was super expressive. And then I stopped being expressive over the years. Right? So funny, and like, that just was a conversation this morning. Do you think if I was not expressive, or I didn't figure out how to lead through that, or didn't have help, you're help for these people, right? that just happened to be in our ecosystem that we had the leadership program, Michael Strasner. So he had hooked him in like 2 minutes. And my husband's never done this to me since that conversation. It was seconds he could see exactly where it came out in his childhood and where it was in the ecosystem of his home. It was seconds. It was like literally 2 to 5 minutes. And Ash has never done that to me again. I can tell you that we would have hated each other with the battles because we didn't have the leadership skills to get through it. Do you guys follow me? Yes. So your mamas have things that go around with. It could be parenting that you want to more specialize in. It could be more holistic. I don't know. But what I do know is this program has to be a survey off of this. And this program will grow, but you got $540,000 sitting in this program if you only have 100 people buy this in a year. And if you look at that, 100 divided by 12, that's 8 people a month. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So now, if she just did nothing else but focused on, who's tracking, focused on enrolling 100 of these $700 products, I could care less about the 70 grand from this. If she literally tracked on a wall-size post-it, 100 plus bring a friend, and she tracked, she's going to get more aggressive, which is going to have, she's going to stop being busy. See, overwhelmed is a leadership problem, my friends. She's got 540,000 plus 70K sitting in just focusing on 100 people in that $700 product. Who likes the simplicity of that? So now it's up to you, my darling. How do you want to do that in 1 quarter? Do you want to take all year to do that? And that truly, that's a reverse engineer. Now you start asking C-level mindset, how would I do that in 3 months? How would I do that in 4 months? Right? How would I do that before the summer? So 100 are enrolled before the summer at 700. And now you start looking at what's my close ratio. If I do a 1-day summit, do I want to start selling 700 to the 1-day summit? Or do I want to do a 1-day summit and go have a call with everybody in VIP and enroll them? Or do I want to run a contest where people refer people in? Or do I want to do trigger words like I just did here? I love trigger words because it's a trigger word is like, how many of you guys are pregnant? Or how many of you guys know somebody pregnant? I love that because then I can focus on just doing content and giving. How many of you guys find Shanda On Demand valuable? Like you would pay for this content behind closed doors, right? It's like, let us know in the comment section. Like, what do you love about Shanda On Demand? What's your favorite thing about Shanda On Demand right now? Go in the comment section. What are your favorite thing about Shanda On Demand? Right? Let us know in the comment section. I really do want to hear what your favorite thing about Shanda On Demand is. So while I'm doing Shanda On Demand, I can keep creating curriculum that rocks your world. At least I hope it does. But I'm listening to your words to create content. Does that make sense? And then I'm making offers along the way. And then you could do trigger words. You don't even have to make offers. You can do trigger words. And then people will tell you what it is they want, right? How many of you guys need to get really good at sales and you suck at sales? Put sales in the comment section. How many guys, you know, sales is a #1 priority that you have to get good at? Put sales in the comment section. See, as you guys are putting sales in the comment section, first of all, look at how many people need help on sales, right? So now you cannot feel alone. See how I'm positioning this? My position is constantly client-centric, right? Feel good about you're not in a bad spot. Other people are in the same step you're in. Manage your mind, same step you're in. We can help you that in Meant to Be Live. We do 6 calls a month on that. So if I wanted to drop an offer for Meant to Be Live, I could do that right now. Do you get what I'm saying? However, you also put the word sales. We could reach out to you, right? We can completely reach out to you. That was not premeditated. But some of you guys, you're smarter than me. You could premeditate everything. You could literally build it into your content. And that'd be great to do. And then if you wanted to boost your social media with a couple dollars on ads, you could see, well, if I give $200 on ads, do I get one $4,000 client, or do I get one $700 client, or 2 $700 clients? Do you guys see how you can use content trigger words to be able to boost? Do you guys see what I'm saying? So you don't have to be in a constant launch, but you do need to be in a constant give. If you want end-of-day revenue every day, you need to make yourself available and not be afraid. You good, Alicia?
Yes, Alicia. Yeah, Shanda. I
Sorry.
know you're great. I did want to say, because I know you just mentioned HCL earlier, and for those who don't know a lot about it, I just did it, and it is the most incredible, transformative, few weeks that I've spent, and it is the best investment I've ever made in myself. So anyway, I just have to tell people about it. So
Yeah, no, well, we have a sale on it right now, a summer sale. And if people go to joinhclnow.com, if you go to joinhclnow.com, you can jump into that offer. Alicia, it's the best before we ever owned it, I did that program, and it's what got me out of the struggle, and it got me back into success in my life because I started asking better questions and I started creating results. So are you in practice right now, or are you done?
I'm in practice. We just did our first practice. It was amazing. Love it so much. It was so great. Shanda, thank you for this. It is a life changer.
Yeah, no, I know it is. I know it is. And people don't understand it until they do it. I know it is. I get messages in my inboxes constantly of people sharing their results. So I'm excited to see now you've got this when you create your VSP in HCL, when you create your vision stretch project, which is a goal, she can't graduate the program unless she hits the goal. I would look at something like this. Like, I mean, what if you sold 100 of these programs?
Yeah.
Right, during your practice, or 50? You're halfway there. Close the other 50 by the summer. I mean, that's it's epic. You know what I mean? Like that, like that's the type of stuff you want to put and allow us to coach you in HCL to create that result and hold you accountable. Everybody wants accountability. HCL is their accountability. So good. All right, girlfriend, I'm going to pull up the next person. Bye. Okay, Fadi, if you could put up the URL, joinhclnow.com, please, so that if anybody wants to jump into that program, it's there. You guys can see on the page, if you want it, you can go there. I'm going to pull my next person up with money flow. Oh, sorry. Did I change my settings? Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to bring up Amanda. Oh gosh. How do I say your last name, Amanda? I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's Schenkenberger.
Shakenberger. Got it. Not really, but I'm going to try. So good. Nice to see you. Tell
to see
everybody you are a homeschool coach in essence, but if you want to share any hooks about why you think your business is so important right now, now's the time to do it. Share that with us.
Yeah, so I help moms manage their mind and their schedule to calm the homeschool chaos, because a lot of times when we begin the journey, it really starts interfering with our bond with our children. And so really making sure that we stay calm so that we can help our kids stay calm, so that the education can flow from that. That's really where I help moms.
So good. I wish I just had, so I've never done WhatsApp marketing, but I see a lot of people in Puerto Rico using WhatsApp in their marketing strategy. But I'll tell you, in the WhatsApp groups, just before I came down here, I actually said to our house manager, who was also, who was also our son's homeschool teacher, she wants to go coach pods of people. And I was like, she should have taken us on as a client, because she wants to be down here in Puerto Rico. Like, we should have paid her $1,000 a month to homeschool our son. And then, but in the week we're moving here, if I would have known she wanted to do that 10 days before we were moving, there were 2 women who had just pulled their kids out of the school here who were homeschooling. And they said, your client, because they actually said, I don't have the patience for this. I hope I don't destroy my kid. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, you are actually pushing on the right button. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you are pushing, but this is you knowing your client. The sale is actually in that emotion. When I say that people buy because of emotion, I'm not saying you're manipulating it, my friends. I'm saying you're listening. You're dropping into the supporter mindset, right? The supporter listening skills. You get it. And this is a very, very good thing that you get it, because I've heard it over and over and over again. I actually love homeschooling, Zach. I have no emotional breakdown. Where I have a challenge is in the schedule.
Okay.
schedule what the schedule is. I'm like, well, let's do the schedule at the hangar, and then let's do the schedule at the coffee shop. And then I'm like, did we really get those hours in? Like, I'm going, oh my gosh, I need another teacher. So, okay, anybody else homeschool? Who else homeschools? Put HS in the comment section. Put HS for homeschool in the comment section. Who homeschools? Put HS in the comment section if you homeschool. A couple of you guys. So good. I did homeschool. I love that. Okay, so tell me, what money flow challenge can I solve for you, Amanda?
Well, I would actually also love an Ascension plan. Right now, I have my main program, Heart Smart Homeschooling, where I take moms through that process. It's $297 a month or $3,000 for the year. I don't have anything like list power like you have, but I've been considering doing like a how to homeschool for beginners, then ascending them into my program that I already have. So that's where I'm at.
You should go pull some statistics, check chat GPT, and pull some statistics on how many people are moving to homeschooling.
Yeah.
And how many people in the last 24 months moved to homeschooling, and how many people in the last year moved to homeschooling. The reason why I like statistics is, first of all, you guys who watched the Shanda on Demand, where I talked about the different personality quadrants and showed you how to use Chat GPT to write marketing emails with that. If you're not watching Shanda on Demand on a regular basis, I'm telling you, I don't remember what day I did what, right? But that was a really important training. And so the statistic hits the controller and the analyzer. They love the statistics, but it also gives you the data points on knowing what that base level program is. So first, your list is always on the bottom. Where's your list size at right now?
1,400.
Okay, so I would say exactly the same thing. You're 1,400. Get that to at least 10 to 12,000 this year.
Okay.
So you need to reverse engineer your monthly KPIs and make sure that you just have, if you just keep things consistently in, sometimes you'll blow it up and have a great list build, and sometimes you'll have a crappy one. But if it's just in the schedule, it's a money-making activity. You guys hear what I'm saying? So many people don't use their schedule effectively. And so it feels like, oh, this thing called a business is so frustrating. It's like, no. What's frustrating is managing your calendar. Because so often people are not ahead of their calendar. They're operating off to-do lists, right? So do not operate off a to-do list. Take your to-do list, write your priority ones, your priority twos, and your priority threes on it. Your priority ones, look at them and be like, okay, let me look at the overall Ascension plan. How many of you guys would love me to do an Ascension plan with you? I just had a thought. Put yes in the comment section. Okay, so everybody who jumped into HCL last week and this week, Suzanne, I know she's like, are you kidding me, Shanda? I'm gonna come up with a day to do Ascension plans. Okay, so next week sometime, I'm gonna do Ascension plans for everybody who jumped into HCL. Okay, so we did this for Meant to Be Live. Everybody who bought in a couple weeks, I got on a call. It was a 14-hour day, I think. And I did Ascension plans for every single person. Okay, so I'm gonna get myself, I'm gonna get Steven, maybe Meredith, Ash, myself, we'll tag team, and we'll do a day of Ascension plans, and all of us are really strong at it. Okay, all of us are super strong at it. And we'll create Ascension plans for everybody who jumped into HCL last week and everybody who jumps in today. This offer will not be available tomorrow. You guys get it? So now notice what I'm doing. I'm giving certainty on a bonus that gives clarity. Look at Alicia. If she focused on literally $100, $700 products, she would make, you would actually do $600,000. It was $540,000 on the back end. I know my data points. So whether she believes she could make that money or not is irrelevant to me. I know conversion rates. I know conversion rates if you suck. I know conversion rates if you're good. Do you get what I'm saying? And so I can come up with those numbers because I know where somebody would be on the spectrum. You get what I'm saying? Now, what gets in the way of somebody succeeding? Leadership. If someone doesn't follow through, somebody won't take the coaching, somebody's resistance, that's why you go to joinhclnow.com. right? And just secure that, get it out of your system so that you follow through, so that people can give you a strategy. They can think through a smart strategy, like Alicia's is a smart strategy. $100, $700 product. She could have that completely done by the summer. She could have $600,000 sold by third quarter of this year. That's not a guarantee or a promise, but I can tell you that that's just starting to work with her now. After she has that under her belt, I can go to Alicia and say, all right, girl, here's an Ascension plan to go to 3 million. And she could do that next year, right? She could do that next year by following through on that simple plan this year. But notice it doesn't have her selling a bunch of things. I actually took something off her plate.
Yeah.
Right? And so this is really important. So go to joinhclnow.com if you want us to coach your leadership, and I will do Ascension plans for everybody who jumps in today. Okay. And everybody who jumped in last week, we'll hook you up too. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. Let's need to go to 10, 12,000. Okay. Because that's just where your safety's at.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to have that there. You need to have phone numbers too. So you already know how to do that. So that's not a new thing for you. Now, when you've got a product at 297 and one at 3,000, what are those two products?
So the program that I have now is 297 or 3,000 pay in full. So it's just one product right now.
And what do they get for that?
They get the Heart Smart homeschooling program, group coaching, and community accountability.
Okay, so I'm going to let you know that you'll increase your income. You won't, however many you've sold on this will not change the number of people you've sold. You need to take that 297 up to 597 or 700.
Oh, okay.
It will not change your conversions. Okay, anything under 700 will not change your conversions. Okay, when you go over 700 a month, it will start to change your conversions. Okay, so whether or not you want to jump that 297 to 597 or 697 or 700, you can just do your own math and see how much more money you would have made. Okay, so that's my first hook for you, is to do that. That's what do you call that program?
Heart Smart homeschooling.
Okay. Okay, so that being said, you have there are things that you can add. I don't know, do you have curriculum building and stuff in there?
It's more of a curriculum for moms. So if
okay,
so not
let me share something with you. In private, even if it was pod private, like we do at Meant to Be Live, in pod private, if you charge, let's say, $1,000 a month, right? You charge, now think about this. If this program was $700 a month and it was only $1,000 a month to go into a pod private, I'm moving to pod private. She'll end up flipping her business and she'll be like, shit, like I need to hire other coaches. It forces Ascension. It forces you taking hats off, right? Because the price difference isn't enough. If it's $597 and $1,000, the price difference is enough that you'll have an Ascension. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
So when you want to scale it and you're talking to someone, there's two ways that you can work with me. You can either work with us in the Heart Smart program, which is a group setting, or you can move to pod private, where we have small pods of mothers that we work with privately for the course of the year. It's $1,000 a month, or the course of 10 months or 7 months, whatever. And then you could renew if you want. So it's a 7-month commitment. And then you renew if you want, right? If you're finding it valuable, or you downgrade into Heart Smart, right? If you want to scale, put those two price points close, because they'll flip, because they'll be like, it's only a couple $100 more a month. I'm taking the pod private. Okay. Here, you help them build curriculum. You see what I'm saying? Here is more hands-on. Here, you have you could add a half VIP day, which is great to do within the first 2 months of us working together.
Yeah.
So that things like curriculum and things like that, course correct any emotional problems or things like that. I'm basically like your board member. I'm your principal for your school. You know what I mean? That's how it's all in stories. People
Yeah.
understand the stories. I'm like your principal for your school. You can't go wrong in pod private. We're good to go, right? So now you got this at $1,000 a month. Let's say without the skill, you got this at $597. Then this is what you're selling for the most part and is sending people up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to give you another strategy for cash flow. This group will buy this. If you go, say I was doing a curriculum call and I said, how many of you guys would love to be in a pod private with us? You want to build up curriculum or you feel like you could use a little bit more handholding. It's a little bit more than this program. It's $1,000 a month. How many guys would be interested in that? Put me. If you were doing a training on this, there's going to be a couple people that are going to say me.
Mhm.
And then all you do is you have your virtual assistant take a screenshot, you reach out to them, or you have them reach out to them, set up a call within a day to 2 days tops, and get on the phone and have a conversation. Do you guys see what I'm doing here? Do you guys get it? So where's the stress? It's only in enrolling here. If you just every month or every 2 months, you open up the offer to anybody interested in pod private, something shifted in your life and you need a little bit more support and you feel like you want to do this, it's a 7-month commitment, but if it's something that you're interested in, put PP in the comment section for pod private, they do that, and then you see it. And then it's just very empathetic. It's very easy. It's just, you're just really being empathetic to the mothers that are like, actually, I actually want that. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So it's super easy to make the offer and you're sending people up. Get what I'm saying? Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Now, I don't know what this VIP experience is for you right now. You might already knowing your women, but this can be a retreat. It could be a
Yeah.
retreat where they come on their own. It could be a retreat where they bring their kids for one day. You might get some sort of help for them so that when they fly in with their kids, there's support. You know what I mean? If they've got teenagers, there could be a leadership component where they're helping with the support, right? But there's a retreat here. And this could be a $5,000 retreat or a $3,500 retreat that with pod private, they get
Yeah.
automatically, but it's also something that you could sell directly to the list.
Yeah.
Now, what you need to do is go rewatch this and calendar this out. So
Yeah.
calendar, you're managing where your priority focus is for what months to be able to do that. If you put this retreat towards the end of the year, which also plans next year, let's say November, September and October, you could be bumping these numbers.
Yeah.
These guys get it, but you bump extra numbers for 5 or 3,500. Does that make sense?
No, that last part, no.
If you put this retreat in November or first week of December, and you guys plan curriculum for the next year, and you also do just even the women doing their own planning, their own goal setting, fun,
Yeah.
all of that stuff, like games, fun, camaraderie between the women, all of that type of stuff, right? Like almost like a retreat, like some alone time scheduled in, all of that stuff that moms need that they don't do, like self-care and planning. So they walk into the next year feeling like, whoo, I can have my Christmas holidays are going to be great because I've got everything planned for next year. I got my ducks in order. I'm not ending this. It's like closing down your year, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So
Yes,
now,
that does.
if that was Rick Karina accidentally just hung up on him. If we take this 597 times 12, which is 7,100 for the year, if we take that program and in 90 days, sell it for 90 days, and you put 20 to 25 people in that for 90 days, does that sound good?
Yeah. Yeah.
25 people, that is 14,925 a month. Okay, so that should be done by the summer.
Okay.
Making that a month, you're probably going to have an attrition. Some people are going to, right? But 14,925 times 12, that's 179,100 a year. So almost 180,000 a year when you're doing your list building lead gen for these people. Okay, so all your focus goes here. Get what I'm saying? So what
Yes.
I would do is I would do 2 waves of this. So I'd have this, I would sell now from March, April, have the program start in June. No, have the program, start in June. And then still sell till the end of June. So you got basically 3.5 months to sell. Make sense?
Yeah.
So start at the beginning of June. Then July, August, September, July and August, I would not sell into another wave. In September, October, November, I would sell a wave 2.
Wave 2. Got it.
Wave 2. Makes sense?
Yep. Yeah.
And if you, by the way, if you wanted to give this with that, you could do that. That wave 2 will want to get to this retreat.
Yeah.
So whether or not you get an opportunity to sell this to your list or not, doesn't matter. It's just a cash injection that as you build more people in, because the more things you guys have to sell, you guys get it, the more confused the mind gets. So she sold 2 waves of that, then she's literally putting herself in a position where she's got 2 months off of selling. She's got 2 waves going in. This 15,000 a month is going to go to 25 to 30,000 a month between September and November. And you're gonna have a crossover. If you give that retreat in let's say first week of December, and both waves can come to that, you could make an offer for renewal for that first group. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the first group can have something special the night of day 2, do a 2-day retreat, and the night of day 2, only for the people who started in wave 1, you do some sort of closure and make a renewal offer there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you have without look, this is just her mentioning it on these calls. So even if you end up with 10 people, you're running 2 pods of 5, that's fine. You're not, it's a non-stress mention on these calls. You see how money flows?
Yeah.
You got $10,000 a month coming out of this just by mentioning it on here. Do 2 pods of 5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
no stress. 2 pods of 5. So basically, you fill 1 pod. You might fill both pods in a couple months, but like fill 1 pod, then fill a second pod, and you'll see what the demand is. But it's there because there's people who join this program that would just actually really like more of your attention.
Yeah.
You guys all see how we did that? Manage your mind. Making money doesn't have to be stressful. This is all leadership. Money flows, money flows, money flows. It's not about getting, it's about giving. Notice I'm saying, she's just mentioning it here. Some of these women will want more of her attention. She doesn't have to do a hardcore press. She just needs to make herself available and have a structure, which is 2 pods of 5 women in the pods. That might all sell out in wave 1, or it might be wave 1 and wave 2. Doesn't really matter. You've got $10,000 a month sitting there, $1,000 a month per client, 7 months at $70K. And that's just a bump of you helping more people. You
Yeah.
guys follow? So my darling, you have $430,000 in sales on your calendar this year. If you don't get distracted selling different things, focus on the list build. When you do the list build, it should be leading up to here. Your whole focus is just to sell this. At a retreat first week of December, give it to these guys. If you have space and you want to bump some sales because your leadership is strong, then you could add that into the 2-3 months that you're not selling and make offers or not.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you could take this 430 to 500. I don't know, how long have you been working with me?
September.
So not very long. So not very long, a few months, right? Let's hit it. Take this plan and just do this plan. It has you focusing on one sales focus.
Yeah.
And then just, you need to have this up on a wall, so you just mention it. And it's just compassionately mention it. I think you probably have 2 pods of 5 in this. I think you have 2
Awesome.
pods. I think I got about 10 people who are going to send up, just knowing the numbers, right? And so, but honestly, I don't really care if nobody sends up. Your numbers work. It's a great first year for us together. You're making 430,000. This jumps you to $500,000 our first year working together.
Yeah.
Get busy. Don't get creative and create more shit out there. Don't be like, oh my God, I feel like the hair on my head is standing up and I just gotta launch this program. Just don't do that. Just don't be that person. Just keep the foundation locked in this Ascension plan and you'll be in a really good spot. Okay?
Thank you so much, Shanda. And anybody who's thinking about HCL, do it. I graduated in January, and there's no way that I would be able to do any of this without having gone through HCL.
So good. So good. Thanks for that endorsement. I appreciate that. By the way, I'm not asking these people to say this, by the way. They're just saying it. And so that's the product of a good program. 99% of these clients in HCL get their results. So did I ask you to say that? No. Oh, you're muted there. You're muted. Okay, we're gonna.
She did not ask me to say that.
So good. Thank you. All right, girl, go lock this plan. Go put this up on the wall, your Ascension plan, and lock into it and realize, just manage your mind on this one product.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, you could run this Ascension plan for 2 years.
Yeah.
Coming together, you want to scale, flip this 597 up to 7. They're going to start pushing over here. It'll force you to hire pod coaches that are good in your industry. And trust me, there are a lot of people who know what you know and even know more than what you know that they're not investing in their education like you are. They're not investing in their leadership. They're not focused. They're like, someday I'm going to write that book. Someday I'm going to grow that business. You're doing it. We're working together. And so you're getting your leadership in check. You're able to follow the strategies because your leadership's in check. And you could run this strategy for 2 years. You could take these 25 and move it to 50. And now you have over $1 million company. You can move that 25 to probably 40, 2 groups of 40, and you had a 7-figure business. On year 2, no, there's no, I can't give you a money guarantee, but that's how freaking simple it is. If people would just stop creating more shit. Okay, you got to know how money flows. And money flows with compassion. It does not flow with selfishness. Selfishness is all about what you guys want to create. We're going to pop her off. Selfishness is all about what you want to create. When you're like, I feel like I literally have a Instagram reel that I'm going to do on this, because so often I hear this. And by the way, I hear this coming out of our leadership program too. I finally have a voice, right? And I'm like, I have to go do my calling. And I'm like, your calling is critically important. But every person that you touch, you have to leave them, or at least you have to have the intention of leaving them in a better place than when you met them. Do you know when I left my job in real estate, I stayed with that company for a year while I grew this company. Why did I do that? Because I couldn't find anybody to replace me. Like, I birthed the vision. Do you know what I mean? And I would have left them completely hanging. So do I expect that from people? No, most people never think like that. But you want to do everything you can to realize your character comes first. It enters a room before you do. Do you guys get that? And so when you're building businesses, what that looks like is when I hear people say, oh my God, I just feel so called to do this. Do you know how many things I felt called to do growing this business? A lot. Do you know what I chose? I chose you. I chose you. What is the best thing for the client? And it's how I edit out my selfish flesh on the things that I want to do. And I build a real company, or built a real company. And so I promise you don't have to be insecure around cash. But for many of you guys, you need to take me up on the offer on Join HCL now. Many of you guys, and you know who you are. We've discounted this to 52%. You know who you are. I will run an Ascension plan for you next week and show you where the money flows for you specifically. Because many of you guys would love me, right, to do this for you specifically. I think we got one more person we're going to pull up. Many of you guys would love me to do this for you specifically. Do you know how good it feels on the nervous system when you know what you're doing? It feels very good. Then I call it horse blinders. You put on the horse blinders and you just look at that Ascension plan on the wall. You're like, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. If you do HCL, when you finish Vision and Breakthrough, you will be unleashed. That I can promise you. You will be unleashed when you're done Vision and Breakthrough. But here's what happens. When you go into practice, you have to pick a goal. The Ascension plan I do for you, you should put that on the goal. If there's some essence of you wanting some safety around financials, put that up, because our coaching department will coach you to that. Because you're in leadership, using the leadership tools, leadership is what comes out of your mouth, what comes out of your action. Did you get up and hit snooze on your life, or did you get going, right? I don't care what emotional state you're in right now. I care about where you're going. Everything can change right now today, but it is on your leadership and whether or not you're afraid or not afraid to jump up and go after it. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Resourcefulness. You got to be resourceful. Okay, let's pull up the last person. Cynthia. Hi, you look so glamorous. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Awesome.
All right. Tell me what I'm solving for you on your money flow.
Okay, so I love the Ascension plans that you were doing. I support women through grief, and the benefit based on my grief was that they can go through it without grieving 24/7, because grief is hard on your body. Yeah.
Yeah, stress is grief. I've seen people go through breakups or losing someone and it destroys them. You know what I mean? Because they're living in those emotions. I mean, you guys, have you ever broken up with someone that like you knew was a good move to be broken up with, but somehow you're still caught in the moments that were great and you're somehow having amnesia on the reason why it's good for you to break up, but you're just locked into that? That needs help, right? That's like, you need people like Cynthia to be able to get your mind unhooked from that so that you can get your power back. And that's critically important. Okay, so you have a list of 5,600, I believe. Is that right? That's
Oh, no, I wish. No, that was I have my first sale of.
Oh, that's right. So you
yeah.
made $600 in cash.
Yeah, it was 6,400 for an 8-month program. Keeping in mind what you said, you don't want to keep going out. So I made it an 8-month program, and then she paid in full. So she was discounted that she got a month for free. So 5,600.
That's great. Yeah. You guys, that's fantastic. See what I mean? Like, now this is why I always want people to work on their leadership and their list, right? Because the list is your people. And if your leadership sucks, like if you're a temper tantrum behind closed doors, with love, right? If you're temper tantrum behind closed doors, then your leadership sucks. So you go up to the list, you're like, why won't anybody engage with me? Why won't anybody buy? Why are there crickets? Well, because your character walks into the room before you do. Mm-hmm. It just does. Some people say everything is energy, right? And so whatever which way, like the signs and the wonders are out there. Like no matter what manifestation practice you're following, whether it's new age, whether it's biblical, whatever it is, at the end of the day, they work. Why do they work? Because they know how to run energy. And that's our authority on this earth. No matter whether or not it's an atheist that doesn't believe in the Lord, like you have got authority on this planet, that this is our domain. We get to play here. You get what I'm saying? That's why all that stuff works. However, if it's not working, it's because there's something jarred in our character. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? And that you can't cheat that. It shows up in the room. So where do you want me to take you, Cynthia? What's the target?
In terms of people, you mean?
Terms of, your money
Yeah,
flow
so
solving for you.
yeah, so right now I'm in the process of transitioning. I'm a professor. I have 250 students a year. And when I compared that with if I work directly with clients, if I had 100 people a year, that would be a great number for me.
Yeah, well, so you got to build a sales team.
Yes, yes.
So if you want, so the numbers I just gave out to Amanda, like I've seen, so I don't know how good you are at sales. So let me just kind of blanket this so that everybody can, if you're a brand new client of mine and sales is not your, like you're good at sales, you're good at giving advice, but you're not masterful at it, and you are launching a program for the first time that you've never done. See all those variables? Then between 20 and 25 is a good number in 90 days. If it's just you selling. Okay. If you add somebody to sell with you, you want somebody who's either a pro at selling, which you can find on Indeed. I think we made an offer. Did we not make an offer the other day for everybody who joined HCL that Ash would do something? I feel like we did. I can't remember what we offered.
I am an HCL graduate, HCL 37.
Super cool. So I think he did something with sales teams, but I digress. Let me get back to here. So the reason why my mind's going that, it's like, it's so crazy how many offers I can make and add bonuses that would solve people's problems, and the miracle would come in, the miracle of money, the miracle of freedom, but people don't take it because they're still sitting on the fence, hitting snooze on their life, right? And so I'm just saying, like, we actually, like, we did it as a bonus sometime last week or the beginning of this week, where I think it was end of last week, where we actually said, we'll train you for 2 months in the club around sales, right? It's like, so if you're decent at, if you're building a sales team, you want somebody who either you go to Indeed or LinkedIn and find somebody who's a sales pro, or you get somebody who's been a past client or somebody who's in your industry, and you have them come sell with you and you pay them. They have to be able to give good advice. Sales is about, it's leadership. All sales is leadership. And why do I say leadership? You have to lead somebody somewhere. It's not about saying the perfect words. It's not about, like, you can't even handle an objection that somebody has and not get into war with them unless you're a good leader. Do you guys get that? Like, if somebody gives you an objection, you need to see your way through it. If you try and convince them, you're in war with them, you're competing. It's like, this is why everything is leadership, right? So if you want 100, right? You want 100 enrollments. I think that's a great number to go after, right? Then you have to break up. You got 3 more quarters to the year. So you've got to enroll 33 a quarter.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? So that's a little, I'm not saying you can't do that, because usually it's a 10, like anywhere between a $7,000 to $10,000 program at that 20 to 25 a quarter. So again, I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just giving you some general numbers that I've seen over 14 years of coaching.
Right.
Okay. And so I don't want to put a pipe dream out there. I want to say, let's reverse engineer this. So if you could sell 20 in a quarter, then if we could get somebody else that can sell 15 to 20 in a quarter, you hit your numbers.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. So then you're like, you have to be rigorous that this person can do that. We just brought somebody onto our team that looks like they're going to be a really, really great salesperson. And they have a really strong history of high sales. Right? And so history. We're looking for someone who hasn't been out of the game too long, somebody who's in the game. So you could find that person by the end of the week. Just put up a LinkedIn, put up an Indeed, write a very clear, use ChatGPT, write a job placement on a Word doc, go to ChatGPT and say, write this in a very compelling way, right? Or write this in copywritten, or write this in Russell Brunson's from ClickFunnels voice, or something like that, right? And then post it. But I would always write the first paragraph very clear. I'd rather get less applications than more. And I write the first paragraph something like this. Remember, if they're a salesperson, I did this on the other training where we talked about this, but I would say before reading the rest of this job posting around hiring for a salesperson, know this: we're looking for someone who is opinionated, gives great advice. Your friends always call you, and you're addicted to work. You're not somebody who's looking for balance. You're hungry to make a lot of money, and you know you have the power of giving great advice to people. You have a history of winning in sales, and you're motivated by making money. You do not want a salesperson that's not motivated by making money. Right? You just don't. You just don't. That doesn't make any sense, right? And say, if that's you, keep reading. And then you could put, the descriptions about what you really want to see out of the job role. Like, you want them to pipeline for sales. You want them to take calls that you lead to them. You want them to be stellar at follow-up. You know what I mean? You want them to have an abundant mindset. They're not they don't feel worried about selling a $10,000 product, that type of thing. Okay. So that's kind of what you need to focus on right there. Then everything going into this is, how much content can you do? Well, what's content, Shanda? One-day summits. How do you send, because you got to get your list up. So
Yeah.
One-day summits, got to get that rolling. I would be doing one every month without a doubt, maybe 2 a month without a doubt. Now your attention's put towards that, maybe you need 2 salespeople or 3 so that you could focus. Do you see how this strategy starts to expand?
Yes.
So now, I got 2 or 3 rock stars. I don't want possibles. I want people who are bullish, they're aggressive, they're going after it.
Okay.
They're workaholics. Salespeople have to be workaholics because they're better leaders than most people will ever be. They're not looking for balance. They're not telling you that they can only work these hours because they've got their kids coming home for school. That's not the person you want. Sorry, moms that have that in your dialogue. That's not who I want selling for me. I want the person's like, kids are coming home at 3. I'm going to get up at 4. I'm going to hit the ball. Then I'm going to pick them up. They're superheroes. Great salespeople are superheroes. And that's why they make more money than everybody else. You know what I mean? It just is. So if you're like, I don't want that life, you never get the yacht. I don't care about the yacht. You never get the freedom either. You never get the peace of mind. You don't sleep well because money's not abundant. Salespeople can move it abundant, right? But it's a personality trait, right? It's character. So I get 2 to 3. And then if I were you, that will hold you accountable to do your one-day summit, couple a month, get really, really bullish, maybe get an assistant that can run with you on that. And every week you're adding experts. And your KPI is that, adding experts, filling 2 one-day summits every single month. You're lead genning to them. In between that, maybe you do a 15 or 20-minute show every single day, or 3 times a week, or once a week on social media. Get StreamYard, go onto all the different platforms, use trigger words, which we've talked about, right? Have your sales team be able to help with that. Everything you can to create great content, give it all away. You guys watching Shanda On Demand? I've had people messaging me making money in the last week because of Shanda On Demand, right? And that's what I like to hear. Imagine what it's like when you go through leadership. Game changing. Right? So it's like, imagine if I could work with you more than 20 minutes in a day or 30 minutes in a day. And we got people counting your KPIs, your Ascension plans, right? We're holding you accountable. That's a game changer. No different for any of you guys creating content online, right? So this is a great scaling model. You can hit your number. What do you sell price point at?
It was 6,400.
Great. So you got 6,400 times 100. That's $640,000 you have sitting here, right? However, out of that 100, you have either got a retreat,
Yep.
or you got VIP days. And those VIP days can be anywhere between 7,000 to 20K. And if it feels odd selling at 20K, add 2 months of accountability off the back end of it. It'll help you manage your mind.
Okay.
Okay. and go
Yeah.
sell those. I mean, imagine out of these 100, if you had just 5 people take a $20,000 VIP day, it's 100 grand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not attached to whether they take it or they don't. You're just making the offer.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? And then you have to make sure they get the results, right? And so super powerful. Do you guys get it? Yes? All right. What'd you hear me say real quick, Cynthia?
Oh my gosh. Well, I heard it possibility. I heard money is easy to make the offer, build, get really strong salespeople that are driven, and you know, and what I really loved hearing you say is make sure they have a mind of abundance, because that makes a big difference, right? They have to also know that it's easy. You can bring it in.
Yeah,
So,
you want somebody who's going to pull you forward in the sales department, not someone you're going to pull forward. You don't want to be managing emotions or any of that. Like, emotional people don't make it in sales,
okay.
right? If you're emotional right now, you just heard me say that, you got to sell, you got to change that. You got to manage your mind, right? You got to get into leadership. Join hclnow.com. That will manage your mind. That managed my mind before I ever took the training, before I ever owned it. Somebody else owned it. I just thought we could do a better job at running it. So now we own it. Cool. Awesome. All right, Cynthia, I'm going to say goodbye to you. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap this up and just say, listen, yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday we talked about the 8 questions that we ask when we're searching for a salesperson. Watch yesterday's Shanda on Demand. Last Friday, we talked about how do you culturally get the right salespeople so that you can start selling, having other people, you take off those hats and other people sell, right? So I want you to get out of the mindset that you're not ready. It is not true. Now, it's not all about just building a sales team, right? You got to build leads, right? Do I have to build leads before I build a sales team? No, we can show you how to build leads inside of 60 days, right? It doesn't have to take, but how are you doing on your own? How are you doing on your own? And I want you to check in with yourself on this stuff. Because it's like you can hear these strategies all day long, but you're seeing our clients and you're seeing people create results. They actually know how to, all 3 ladies I pulled up actually know how to build leads, and they know how to take it all the way through and monetize it. None of these ladies have worked with me for that long, a very, very short amount of time. Our highest success clients have done joinhclnow.com, our highest success clients. So this isn't for me, it's for you. I've discounted the program by 52%. That's wild. And I'm going to close it down. So these are the last couple days to be able to take us up on that offer. I'm going to tell you, we got people in HCL right now that are creating life-changing results. And this is not an income claim whatsoever, but I've seen people take an entire year's worth of income and make it in the 4-month program of leadership. Entire year. Why? Because so many of you guys are playing too small, and you know it. You know it. And you need somebody to hold your hand to take you across those finish lines. So we do that in HCL. I do not offer another program that has this much hand holding anywhere. It's got the highest level of hand holding. You're never alone for 4 months. You're like, maybe I want to be alone. I'm like, you don't. You want us to be on you because your dream gets to happen. And it takes a lot of effort to get through your temper tantrums, your resistance, I got this, I got other things going on. Yeah, that's the problem. You keep putting other people in front of your dreams. You keep listening to what other people say about you instead of saying, I know that this is important. You know, I said to my husband when we got married, I said, listen, I want to be really clear with you. I love you with all my heart. I can't imagine any other man that I could spend the rest of my life with, but let me tell you something. Don't ever ask me to choose between my family and my business. And he said, why? And I said, because that would be you choosing out, not me. I'll go the distance with you. I know my leadership's in check. I will go through hard seasons. I'll go through sad seasons. I'll go through great seasons, and I won't leave you. But if you tell me I gotta choose between my purpose and my calling of making a difference, my legacy, and this marriage or this family, you choose out. So I share this with you right now because there's hard conversations that some of you guys need to have today. There's hard conversations that you need to have with yourself about getting up and not hitting snooze on your life. That doesn't pay. I tell my son, second place doesn't win. Second place doesn't have a prize. Some of you guys might judge me for that. But you know what? When I die, I need to know that that kid doesn't, I don't need him to know another science project. I don't need him to score a perfect GPA on a university score. I don't. Because they're already talking about university being obsolete in 5 years from now. Whether that happens or not, I don't know, but the stats are looking at it. Some of you guys, we've merited what our kids do in school, but yet the teachers have been the very people who've said things over those kids that suppress them, not meaningfully. But how do you possibly manage the amount of students in a room? I share this with you guys because we grew up as adults and we stopped treating each other with respect. We stop knowing how to empower each other. Instead, we criticize each other. We get offended when somebody says, hey, that standard doesn't work. We hear it as offense and criticism versus actually somebody standing behind you to see rise up. You guys, I don't know what's getting in the way for you, but you do. What I do know is I can lay out ascension plans for everybody who jumps into HCL today only. You jump into HCL in the next hour, I will make sure you're on an ascension plan next week with us. So we will build out your monetization plan. We'll build out your money flow plan. Go to joinhclnow.com. Why could I say that? Because almost everybody I meet has a leadership program. You tell me you're frustrated for too long. You tell me you're in a relationship that isn't working. You tell me you can't get in a relationship. You tell me you don't know how to make money. You tell me there's nobody that can give you money. You got a network problem. You tell me you don't know how to figure out how to package or price yourself. Oh my God, I got so much on my plate. I don't know how to do this. That is all leadership. No one's going to follow you until you can check yourself and get yourself in the power position. HCL is the program that puts you in the power seat of your life. It gives you certainty. It gives you the security that you're looking for. It gives you the power back so that you can run your own race. And I'll end on this. I said this to my team earlier on this morning. I said, you got to hold people high. You all got to hold yourselves high, but you got to hold your customers, clients, your buyers. You got to hold the people in your life high. You know, I remember losing 3 properties. I can tell you, if someone was standing in my place making me an offer back then, and they saw me as weak, broken, going into foreclosure, then you know what? I never would have figured it out. There was no payment plan. I had to invest $21,000 to get what the presenter was offering. Do you know, in 60 days, not only did I make that $21,000 back, I made a few $1,000s more. It was through that seminar that unleashed my greatest level of revenue generating. Do you guys get what I'm saying? In that process, what did I take? This leadership program. After I did this leadership program, I went and I sold $170 million in real estate in 15 months. I could listen to people. I used to not be able to mentor me. I wasn't coachable. I was so freaking busy reading my BlackBerry. I was so insecure about not knowing that I didn't even let my girlfriend Erica help me and teach me real estate. That's why I don't know how to write a real estate contract. It's not because I was too dumb. It was because I wouldn't slow down. I had an intimacy issue. I was so freaking busy not making anything that when I did leadership, I opened up. I let people in. How many guys need to let people in? Put me in the comment section. How many guys, be honest with yourself, because first of all, it allows us to not feel like we're alone when we see other people have the same stuff, right? So I literally let people in. At that point, that's when I was coachable and I allowed people in. So some of you guys have taken programs in the past, you haven't succeeded. It's not because many of your programs you took didn't work, even if you like to justify that they sucked or the leader sucked or they didn't deliver, maybe sometimes. Usually if you're honest, you didn't do what it took. That's leadership. Somehow you start things, you don't finish them. You're a great starter, a shitty finisher. That's all leadership. That was me, right? You failed in the past, people pulled the rug out from underneath you. Maybe you let the rug get pulled out from underneath you because you'd rather hide than use your voice and be criticized. You guys, I'm telling you, I'll do everything I can on Shanda On Demand all this year to help close the gap, but I can't remake a recession. It's going to be another 7 or 8 or 9 years before we get another recession. You don't need to know how it comes together for your company to grow in a recession. You just need to know that enough smart people are saying that out there because it's true. You need to get your leadership in check so you can trust yourself to follow through at a rapid pace. I've demonstrated ascension plans that take very, very little overwhelmed or details to make, I mean, in all cases, it was over $300,000 in a year. Now, I can't make that money claim. I'm not saying you're going to do that. I'm saying what's in your heart to do. I know without a fraction of a doubt inside my mind that you should be part of the 99% that get their success with us, and go to joinhclnow.com. If money's your problem, I'll lay out the Ascension plan next week. Okay, so you'll have peace of mind by the end of next week. Okay, and know where you're making money, know where your leadership stands right now and how to monetize that. But then go into HCL and let us coach you on that Ascension plan, so that you're like a Ferrari versus a broken Tonka toy. So you can create the results that you want instead of just wishing, oh my gosh, can I manifest this? Listen, you've already manifested. You just haven't walked through the doors. You guys get what I'm saying? I really want that relationship. They walk in and it falls apart. Oh, they're the problem. No. At some point I said to myself, you know what? I'm the freaking problem. And that's the only way that I can do anything in my life, is to grab back my power and say, I am the freaking problem. And I'm going to do something about it, because I don't need my mom. I don't need my dad. I don't need my husband. I don't need anybody to fix me. I need to get right with myself. How many guys need to get right with yourself? So I'm going to tell you, in leadership, we will coach whatever goal you want. You test us and we will succeed, because we will turn ourselves inside out. If we have to literally call your house 17 times in an hour to get you to show up and follow through, that's the shit that happens in this program. I'm not, no joke. Like literally, like they're haunting me. Yeah, because you said you were going on that goal and this is what you do. And you ain't going anywhere. Get your ass back in the saddle. Let's go. Right? That's like, if you're ready for that, this is the program that gets you there. And I can with certainty say that. So go to joinhclnow.com. I'll lay out your money plan next week. So you're good. I'll show you how to make the money. So you're good, right? If you need a finance plan, I've got a finance plan on there. If you don't need a finance plan, it's a better discount on option number 1. You just pay for it. I discount at 52%. I'm closing down this freaking offer. Okay. So if you grab a hold of this in the next hour, because the last time I did this, I was on a Zoom for 14 hours. Okay. I literally made sure every single person had an Ascension plan, and it helps. It gives your nervous system like, okay, I can breathe. It helps. Okay. So I'll do that for you, but I'm only going to make that offer available for next hour. Got it, guys? We good? Go to joinhclnow.com, plus off social now. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.